Madam Chair,
The Honorable Ridon is recognized.
we'd like to know from the BIR if they had complied with the subpoena for the income tax returns and other tax documents relating to the Vice President, Attorney Manscarpio, and their other related firms.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and honorable members of the committee. Yes, Madam Chair, we confirmed that last April 14, we submitted the documents enumerated in the subpoena that was served to the Bureau of Internal Revenue. We have submitted the documents subject to the condition that the same be examined in an executive session as provided by law. Thank you, Madam Chair.
We direct the committee secretary to kindly produce the sealed box, I understand, containing the documents submitted by the BIR. I understand that the Honorable BIR Commissioner is claiming confidentiality of the BIR documents. So we are confronted with the question of whether or not we will be opening the box.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Keith Flores is recognized.
Madam Chair, I believe that the NIRC prohibits us from discussing information about the tax of a person, Madam Chair. And I think the BIR is also prohibited from divulging or discussing the contents of an ITR of a person, Madam Chair, unless if it is done in executive session, Madam Chair, during a congressional committee hearing, Madam Chair. But for now, we are not in a congressional committee hearing. We are in an impeachment hearing, a clarificatory hearing for that matter. And since they are barred by the NIRC, then I think it will be prudent, Madam Chair, not to open the box.
Madam Chair.
May
Madam
we
Chair.
request first the BIR Commissioner to enlighten the Justice members on the nature of the confidentiality of the documents contained in the box?
Yes, Madam Chair. The National Internal Revenue Code under Section 270 expressly provides for unlawful divulgence of information. So in essence, the tax code prohibits the disclosure of a specific tax information pertaining to specific taxpayers. However, the law provides for some exceptions, and one of the exceptions is provided in Section 20A of the National Internal Revenue Code, which provides that we may disclose specific tax information to Congress, provided that the examination shall be done in executive session.
The examination shall be done in an executive session.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable DS J.J. Suarez is recognized.
I think the point of subpoenaing these documents is for us to come to a informative decision with regards to whether or not there is probable cause. Now, may I get clarification from the chairman or from the members of the committee? How then are we supposed to make both ends meet with regards to this? I see a specific gray area. Dahil sa binanggit po ni Congressman Flores kanina, dapat naka-executive session tayo during a congressional hearing. Correct. However, we don't find ourselves in a congressional hearing. We find ourselves in an impeachment proceeding. So may I find out from the good chairman, is it one and the same insofar as we're still in a hearing, although an impeachment hearing? Can we just call for an executive session and look at the contents of that box, Madam Chair?
I understand that the requirement shared to us by the Honorable Commissioner is cumulative, which means that this must be both a legislative inquiry and at the same time an executive session done in its occasion.
Yes.
Which means that the executive session must be done during a legislative inquiry. But of course, the members are correct in pointing out that this is not an ordinary inquiry in aid of legislation.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair. But my
The
point
Honorable
is-
DS Suarez.
Yeah, I just want to add, no? But we are still, in function or performing our legislative duty. Because as legislators, part of our duty is to convene ourselves into quote unquote, how do you say it? Impeachment proceedings to determine probable cause. That is part of our legislative duty, I believe. Although it's not lawmaking, maybe Congressman Rufus can shed light into this because he's a more wise lawyer than I'm not a lawyer. But yun lang yung point ko. This is still part of our duty and our function as legislators.
Madam Chair.
The
Madam Chair.
Honorable Tino and then the Honorable
you.
Keith Flores.
Madam Chair, first of all, may I ask the BIR to read again hindi ko kasi hawak ngayon, no, the exception provided in the law.
Yeah. May I read section 20, paragraph A, Madam Chair, submission of pertinent information to Congress. The provision of section 270, which pertains to unlawful divulgence of information of this code, to the contrary notwithstanding, the Commissioner shall, upon request of Congress and in aid of legislation, furnish its appropriate committee pertinent information, including but not limited to industry audits, collection performance data, status reports, and criminal actions initiated against persons and taxpayers' returns. Provided, however, that any return or return information which can be associated with or otherwise identify directly or indirectly a particular taxpayer shall be furnished the appropriate committee of Congress only when sitting in executive session, unless such taxpayer otherwise consents in writing to such disclosure.
Madam Chair, I agree with the Deputy Speaker Suarez that this is a hearing of the Committee on Justice. So we may inspect the documents for as long as we are in executive session. That's my position, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Madam
Chair.
Chair.
Madam
We know
Chair.
the position of the Honorable Tino. The Honorable Flores first, and then the Honorable D.S. Konghon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I too would like to know what's inside that box. But I think we have to distinguish that there are two functions of Congress. Now, one is the lawmaking function, and the other one is, right now, the accountability provisions of the Constitution. We are gathered here today not for the purpose of our lawmaking functions, Madam Chair. We are now here today as an impeachment part of the impeachment proceeding. So the provisions that was mentioned by our good BIR officer, Madam Chair, does not apply if we look at the exceptions, Madam Chair.
Mr. Madam Chair.
Madam
All right. The Honorable D.S. Konghon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner, lahat po ng opisina ng ating gobyerno nag-declare na ng kani-kanilang mga dokumento. Naglabas ng kani-kanilang dokumento. So sana gawin din ng BIR yung nararapat. Kasi napaka-importante po ng mga dokumentong ito mula sa BIR. Malalaman lang ng komite kung totoo ang mga deklarasyon ni Vice President Sara Duterte ng kanyang salin kapag sinuri ang mga dokumentong isinumite nito at ng kanyang asawa sa BIR. So napaka-importante ito. Sana tumulad na po tayo sa AMLAC at i-disclose kung ano yung mga dokumento.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
BIR Commissioner, would you like to respond to D.S. Konghon?
Yes, Madam Chair, nauunawaan po namin ang kahalagahan ng mga dokumentong isinumiti namin at sinubpina ng House Committee on Justice. Nauunawaan rin po namin ang kahalagahan ng proceedings na ito. Nagkataon lamang po na maliwanag na nakasaad sa batas ang mga limitasyon sa pagbibigay ng impormasyon tungkol sa isang particular na taxpayer at kami po ay obligado na sundin ang batas.
Madam Chair.
Madam
The,
Chair.
the Honorable Sia Diong.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I guess all of us are in agreement that when it comes to the documents that we want to subpoena, or we have already issued subpoena, it should be also appreciated by the committee in an open session such as this. Although we also have to be very cautious about the way we conduct this proceeding. In fact, Madam Chair, if I may remind the members of this committee, the chair herself, whenever there is a questions that is outside of a testimony or affidavit or outside the reported documents by each of the agencies, she automatically calls that particular, for example, question as probing in order to avoid, in order to avoid us giving impression that we're doing a mini trial. So again, I understand that the chairperson of the BIR also wants to cooperate with the committee, but she is also tied up with a certain limitations as what he already intimated to us that is very clear under the law. If, Madam Speaker, if the law intends for this committee to hold or to discuss these particular documents inside the box openly in the committee hearing, the law would have specified an exemption to include impeachment hearing. Similar with the bank secrecy law. The bank secrecy law was very specific that when it comes to impeachment proceedings, that is among the exception. That meaning to say, it cannot absolutely be invoked 100% insofar as the intention of that particular bank secrecy is to proceed with the impeachment proceedings or hearing. Kung sa batas po, kung meron po sa bank secrecy law na specify niya mismo na ito ay exemption para sa purpose niya is impeachment proceeding, kung ganun din po yung intention ng batas na yon na sinight ni commissioner, dapat sinight na po doon. Pero in this case, wala po. Ang sinabi lang po doon is in aid of legislation that can only be open and that can only also be discussed in an executive session. Had the law intends also to include as an exemption impeachment proceeding, then it would have been spelled out clearly in that law. Since nawala po, we cannot interpret and provide our own interpretation doon sa batas na yun, which is clearly wala na po doon na sinasabi na impeachment proceeding. So that is only my my manifestation. Ako lang, Madam Chair, I would like to be very, very cautious on how we proceed with this impeachment hearing. Wag mo sana natin mabigyan kung sino man yung nag-aantay na magkamali tayo para questionin po yung integrity and credibility nito proceeding na ito, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat po.
Madam Chair.
We know the manifestation of the Honorable Adjong. Now we recognize the Honorable Lord Ansuan.
Madam Chair, I echo the objection of Vice Chair Jonathan Keith Flores and Congressman Zia Adyong in that when we are prevented from asking probing questions, in the same manner, the impeachment does not give us license for unlimited discovery. And so we must take note of the objection of the BIR Commissioner that Section 270 of the National Internal Revenue Code criminalizes the divulgence of tax returns by BIR officials. This is very clear. And the only exception that I can think of is the one mentioned by the Commissioner. And even then, if we invoke that section, it refers to inquiries in aid of legislation. And I think that this impeachment proceeding is so far away from an inquiry in aid of legislation. Furthermore, Madam Chair, the subject or the respondent in the impeachment case is the Vice President. Attorney Manscarpio, whose tax returns we are going to expose here now, is a private citizen. He is her husband, and he is not the one who is the respondent in the impeachment case, which also brings us to Section 3 of the Data Privacy Act, which treats income tax returns as sensitive personal information, which is included in the heightened privacy protections of that statute. And it is not a shield that vanishes whenever Congress decides to take up a subpoena pen. And so, inulit ko po, Madam Chair, na hindi dapat talaga natin ilabas yung ITR ni Attorney Manscarpio dito sa hearing natin ngayon.
Madam Chair.
May I ask first the BIR Commissioner, if indeed the Justice Committee has no authority to open this box, then when will be the right time to see the contents of this box?
Actually, Madam Chair, when we submitted the documents subject of the subpoena to the House Committee on Justice, we are very much aware as well of the requirement that the same should be in aid of legislation. And
Louder,
our
Commissioner,
premise-
please.
And our premise, when we submitted the documents, is that the proceedings of the committee is also in aid of legislation, given the plenary power of Congress to legislate. This is just my opinion, Madam Chair. Whatever that may be discussed here could possibly the basis of a possible amendment of, for example, the Bank Secrecy Law or of the tax code itself. And so again, Madam Chair, yes, we are aware that when we submit the documents, it must be in aid of legislation. Our premise when we submitted the documents is that this proceeding is also in aid of legislation. Now, applying what the law expressly says, it can only be examined if the two requisites concur in aid of legislation and in an executive session. Thank you, Madam Chair.
But this is not an inquiry in aid of legislation. As clearly pointed out by the members, this is entirely different proceeding. This is an impeachment proceeding.
If that is the case,
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, then Section 20A will not apply.
What is Section 20?
The submission of pertinent information by the Commissioner to Congress.
That
Section
is an
20
exception.
That is an exception, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable
Madam Chair.
Terry Ridon.
Madam Chair, I'd like to state that Section 20, which is being stated, no? Can you state it for the record, Honorable Commissioner, please? The provision again, can you state it again for the record, please?
That is Section 20 NIRC.
Yes, Section 20
Yes, Madam
NIRC.
Chair.
Can we flash it?
Submission to Congress.
Secretariat. Section 20 NIRC.